Hey, what's going on, everybody? In this video, we are going to be breaking down Spider-Man, the animated series, episode 11, The Hobgoblin, part 1. Let's get into it. Hit that intro.
You are watching the fan club.
You're watching the fan club.
And you're watching the fan club. Do you know what time it is?
And you know what time it is.
It's time for the fan club. Let's go. Hey!
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher when it morphed, I made a fake one.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the fan club. It is your boy, Dan Brosnan, in the building, and we are so happy to have you guys. Welcome to the show. Today, we're going to be breaking down another episode of Spider-Man, the animated series, and in this one, we will be talking about episode 11, The Hobgoblin, part 1. The Hobgoblin was a super cool character. My buddy Tyler was telling me that a big reason why Batman and Spider-Man are such good characters and have not only great shows but great comics is because of the awesome villains. Batman and Spider-Man both have like the best villains of all time. If you really think about it, now it's arguable. There are other great franchises out there that have some amazing villains. I'm not saying that, right? You know, I'm a big Power Ranger guy, and I think our franchise has some freaking amazing villains. But there's something special about the Spider-Man villains, and I also have to shout out Batman. I know that's DC, but you can't go anywhere without mentioning the Joker as a top villain. You know, you got Bane, the Riddler. There's a lot of villains over there, but today, you know, we got to talk about Spider-Man. And the Hobgoblin is ridiculous. We just got done talking about that 3-parter with Venom. Now we're getting into some fun characters. We're going to talk about Harry Osborn, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. In a dimly lit warehouse, a shadowy figure dons the iconic Hobgoblin mask, preparing to unleash chaos upon New York City. Meanwhile, Kingpin, the city's notorious crime lord, discusses the importance of maintaining a public image with his associate, Alistair Smythe, highlighting the contrast between his respectable facade and his true criminal nature. As Kingpin's limousine cruises through the city, the Hobgoblin, soaring on his glider, casts a chilling silhouette against the skyline. At Empire State University, Harry Osborn, son of the powerful Norman Osborn, persuades Peter Parker to become his roommate, citing his father's insistence on a responsible roommate. However, Peter's financial anxieties are quickly addressed by Harry's assurance that his father will cover the rent. The two attend a groundbreaking ceremony for the Fisk School of Criminology, where Peter's spider sense tingles as Wilson Fisk takes center stage. Suddenly, the Hobgoblin attacks, targeting Fisk with his laser-equipped weapon, forcing Spider-Man to intervene. A thrilling aerial chase ensues, showcasing Hobgoblin's menacing arsenal and Spider-Man's acrobatic prowess. Amidst the chaos, Kingpin, suspicious of this masked character, demands an explanation. Spider-Man, however, finds himself outsmarted by the Hobgoblin's cunning tactics, ultimately losing his web fluid and plummeting towards the city below. Back at Oscorp, Norman Osborn, having orchestrated the attack on Fisk, reveals his true intentions to Hobgoblin, blaming the latter's failure on Spider-Man's interference. Disgruntled, Norman threatens to expose Hobgoblin's identity. At the Parker house, Peter and Aunt May watch news reports of Spider-Man's heroic act, a reminder of the dangers inherent in his dual life. Aunt May, ever protective, expresses her concerns for Peter's safety, prompting him to reaffirm his commitment to her while acknowledging the need to forge his own path. The episode ends with a cliffhanger as Hobgoblin, driven by greed and a desire for power, breaks into Kingpin's secret lair, Crime Central, and demands a partnership. The episode concludes with a tense standoff, a shifting power dynamic, and a sense of impending doom, as Kingpin, captivated by Hobgoblin's ruthlessness, considers him a potential protege. The closing scenes highlight the growing threat posed by Hobgoblin, leaving Peter facing a new wave of challenges as he grapples with the consequences of his actions, the safety of his loved ones, and the ever-present danger lurking in the shadows of the city. Now, there is a scene towards the end where Kingpin says, okay, you're gonna work for me now, and Hobgoblin kidnaps Harry Osborn. Now, eventually, Hobgoblin's going to come back and make a deal with Norman, but we have to see in part 2 what actually happens. The one moment that tugged on my heartstrings was when Aunt May was caught in the crossfires and knocked out from the Hobgoblin. I think she's gonna be okay, but Peter is realizing that, like, no matter what I do, my family, people I love are caught in the battle, but this one didn't even have to do with him. Like, Hobgoblin didn't even know that Peter Parker was Spider-Man at this moment, I believe. He was there for Harry. So Spider-Man's also thinking about that. This was a fun episode. I can't wait to get into episode 2. Now, let's talk about some notes and trivia from Spider-Man animated fandom. This is John Semper's least favorite episode. John Semper Jr. wanted to change the order the Hobgoblin and the Green Goblin appeared. However, Semper was overruled by Avi Arad, I'm probably messing up his name, because his toy company, Toy Biz, had already created a Hobgoblin action figure. Semper was quoted, "I had to do the Hobgoblin first, or else Avi would have lost millions of dollars on useless Hobgoblin toys that no kid wanted. Even with our 2-part episode, nobody really liked that character that much. However," Sumter added, "I am proud of how I made the Hobgoblin and his goblin technology natural into the origin of the Green Goblin by having Norman Osborn be the one who made the technology in the first place. That made it all seem rather neutral and less idiotic." Now, I thought how they did it was cool. Now, obviously, how it is in the comics and even in the movies, if you will, Green Goblin comes first. But how they did it in the show was actually decent. I appreciated it. And as a kid, which was the target audience at the time in the 90s, I liked how they brought in the Hobgoblin. Now, if they would have brought in the Green Goblin first, I probably wouldn't have minded either. But let's not think that, the Hobgoblin coming in first was awful, because I kind of liked it. It made sense in this storyline. Martin Pasco was going to have Norman Osborn become the Hobgoblin, and this episode was scrapped by intervention of Stan Lee. Oh yeah, Stan wanted to keep the characters. He's like, okay guys, you can change some things, but you can't just change the whole character and their identities, because then that's just a different story you're gonna have to tell, and then you're gonna wrap all these characters into different stories and people are gonna get confused. Now, Frank Gorshin, who is best known for playing Riddler in the 1960s Batman series, auditioned for the role of Hobgoblin before Mark Hamill was cast. It's crazy to think how many big franchises Mark Hamill is part of. Neil Ross used to get angry because Mark Hamill would always be cast in cartoon roles they both auditioned for. However, when Ross and Hamill first worked together in this episode, Neil Ross was amazed at how talented Mark Hamill was. Neil Ross then began to realize why Mark Hamill was always cast ahead of him. Yo, that's cool. You have to respect that. And at the time, when you see someone always stealing your lunch, you're like, or stealing your parts, you're like, dang, why are they doing that? And then you meet them and you're like, okay, it's not because the guy hates me, he's just good. When Alistair Smythe asks why Hobgoblin wears a mask, Hobgoblin answers that for centuries, hobgoblins have been a symbol of fear. This statement actually is not true because in folklore, hobgoblins played pranks on humans but never meant to harm them. Also in folklore, hobgoblins would live with humans and do chores around the house while the humans slept. That's interesting. Overall, I appreciated this episode. You could tell from the creators that this wasn't their favorite, but I think they did good with this one. I'm excited to see what part 2 looks like tomorrow. It has been a long time since I've sat down and watched these episodes, and I think the last time I've sat down and watched like the Hobgoblin and Spider-Man I was like 7 or 8, man. So some of these episodes feel brand new. We're having a lot of fun, and I have to shout out everyone out there that takes the time out of their day to watch this content. We love you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace. I want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members, Salima Ramirez, Stephen Heffelman, Thomas Franco, Anime King Nick, Lewis Cairns, and Roderick Hare. Thank you guys so much for your support, and if you want a video shout out like this one, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today. Hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, hit that share button, and if you can, please sign up to be a member today. We have 3 membership power-ups. We have the Gold Ranger power-up, the most popular. You get into our exclusive fan club chat group. We have fan exclusive videos that we are adding monthly now, and you get a video shout out. Yes, folks, at the end of our videos, I will shout out your name. We also have the Quantum Ranger power up where you get monthly meetings online with me. Yes, folks, we will talk once a month on Zoom, and you can give me your ideas for future episodes. And then we have a professional package, the Dr. K power up. That is for businesses that want to tap into the platform. If you guys can, please sign up to be a member today. It is highly appreciated and it helps us keep these videos going. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Hi, we're Bulk and Skull. We have been requested by the fan club to say something funny.